So the temperature's what?
What's the temperature outside?
It was -1 when I came in.
-1.
Wow.
Good morning and welcome to the Tuesday, December 9th, 2025 Eidelweiss Board of Commissioners meeting. It's 9 a.m. and we call the meeting to order. The first thing we do is approve the agenda. So I'll make a motion to discuss and approve the agenda.
Second.
Discussion. Do we need to have a non-public session today?
Not that I'm aware of.
I think we could adjourn the meeting and draft an email to the DRA with our question about,
The unassigned fund balance?
yes,
Yeah.
well, no, the reimbursement money is,
Right, the FEMA money,
you have a
whether
vote on
it...
that? You have an answer? or-
No, I just
You
have
got
that
that?
listed as a question, so if we want to do that,
And there was another thing to draft, and it might be an email to the director of DRA with the comments from Mr. Green of the auditor, telling us that there are no auditors, you should tell the state
right,
this and see what they say, so maybe we'll draft that email too.
yeah,
So we could recess to the office, but we don't need a non-public session. So if people want to stop by the office and see us drafting emails, then they can do that. And we're also gonna have a hearing at 10, and I set my phone to go off at 10 to remind me to switch to the hearing. And with that, how do you vote to approve this agenda with recessing it this afternoon to go to the office?
Have
Aye.
we selected a time that we're going to re-meet at the office?
Not yet.
Okay.
What time do you want to do that?
Man.
Do you want to wait till 2, or can you want to go earlier?
Yeah, let's wait till 2.
2 o'clock. And with that, how do you vote?
Aye.
aye,
3-0 on the agenda, modified. Next, we need to approve 2 sets of minutes. The first is the set from November 25th, which we postponed during last week because of the abbreviated storm meeting we had on Thursday. So, bring that up. I had a couple of nitpicky things.
yeah, what do I have down? The last bullet under the DPW report,
Yep.
triaxle,
We had that.
Oh, thank you.
It's TRI, as in triplet, tricycle. Rather than like try again.
yeah, and you have it in both
Yeah.
things, so,
Two-
yeah, so it's twice,
2 loads and 4 loads.
yeah,
And
and
on
then,
that, 3 bullets before that, the Dodge will go in for its inspection. It's, doesn't have the apostrophe, it's not it's, the possessive doesn't have the apostrophe, that's IT apostrophe S is abbreviation for it is.
Yep.
And then in my report, the second bullet, after Nick's schedule, comma, engineer, there needs to be another comma after engineer. Microsoft wants that too.
You told me.
Threw a little line under it for me. Double one. And I'm making a suggestion to make it clear under public session resume, number 11.
Yeah.
The first bullet says, Mark Graff makes a motion to approve in-year bonuses of $1,000 to each of the, I want to say, 3 DPW staff members,
Yep.
instead of just saying the DPW staff members.
Mhm.
Yep.
Thanks for putting that in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I have.
okay. The other thing I have is, under Mark's report, petitioned. You have it as
I know.
you have it as
Yes.
partitioned.
Yes, partition. I forgot to bring my paper. I
That's just
actually
the way
marked
I
that
think.
last week, but we...
Yeah.
Partition.
It's gonna happen again. It never fails. That's funny.
With those amendments, how do you vote on the minutes of the 25th of November?
Aye,
Aye.
3-0 on that.
Okay.
Next, we review our short meeting on December 4th, 2 days after the snowstorm last week that postponed the Tuesday meeting, and that was held at the office.
I was okay with those.
I'll make a motion to discuss And approve those minutes.
Aye.
Second.
Second.
Nancy's okay with them? I wrote them, so.
Yeah, I'm good with them.
I just have a question on the time, the time on this, at the end when you moved into non-public. I'm not sure who's doing the non-public minutes.
Oh, I was gonna tell you what those are, cause those will be, those are sealed because it was a negotiation. And all it has to say is we discussed the.
Okay, you don't have to tell me now, you can do it at the
Yes,
office?
Yes, I'll do that. It was a contract negotiation that we went to
Uh-huh.
non-public session.
Yeah. So,
That's the other thing we need
at
to
the
take
end,
care
when
of
you
this
moved into
afternoon.
non-public, the time, and then the time when it ended is the same time. I got a conflict in the times.
It ended at, let me bring it up.
We ended at 11. I remember I kept saying 11's my cutoff time, and because I had to leave, and I pretty much got out of there at 11.
My note said that I adjourned the meeting at 10:43.
Okay. So,
No, it's when you moved into non-public.
The last thing I have
Time
is
prior
meeting
to
adjourned at
that.
10:43. Now I'm backing up.
Yeah,
Non-public session starts at 10:20.
yeah, and then go
ends
up
at 10:20.
again.
I fixed that. That ended at 10:30. Took us 10 minutes to decide on that.
So
No,
is there a change to the, is there a change?
I just changed it, number 9 to.
So you're amending the minutes?
Yes, to say that we left it 10 minutes later, at 10:30, and then we adjourned the meeting
All right.
13 minutes after that. And that non-public, that should be sealed until the negotiation's done.
Yeah.
Anything else on these minutes? How do you vote?
Aye.
aye.
3-0 on those minutes. Now we move at 9:08 to the approval of the first operations and payroll manifest for $18,036.73. I'll make a motion to discuss and approve this manifest.
Second.
Discussion. This involves a payroll,
Mm-hmm.
and this also has the bonuses going to 3 DPW employees and
correct.
to the administrator.
Yep.
And it has work on the international for state inspection from Albany Service Center for $935.78. Fixing the steering wheel shock and replacement
Bolt
bolt
on
in
the
the
plow.
plow for $311.48. Heating general government buildings for $304. Heating water system buildings for $53.69.
It's that portion, yeah.
Paying the electric bill for the water system, one bill was $251.24, and another one was $1,145.55. That had to involve the pumps.
Yep.
And we bought we had 4 loads of sand delivered for $1,200. And we made our contribution to the retirement system for the employees, full-time employees, of $3,136.45. Any discussion, questions on this manifest?
Yeah, Jeff, what did that $935.78 get us for work on the international?
I know they had to put a new air can on for the brakes in the back. I didn't see the invoice.
Let me bring it up. So,
I have it, if you want me to pull it.
I'm sure I've got that.
Albany Service Center, International. Lengthy description. It was $95 for the state inspection of a heavy-duty truck, and then it was $450 to look over the truck. Found the passenger side rear brake can had a broken spring. Found a few marker lights out. Side window is broken, and the
Yeah,
rear plate is half gone. Rear plate of what?
the license plate.
What? Missing half a license plate?
How the heck
Yeah,
does that happen?
I don't know.
Whoa.
Backing up and hitting some
I think it's rotted right up.
Wow.
salt.
Salt kind of
Works
corroded
out
it.
for How long has that license plate been on that?
Yeah.
Since 2011. The ABS sensor was on, and they found a broken wire. They repaired the wire and the code went away. The truck still needs to have the side window replaced and a rear license plate completed by state, to complete the state inspection. Can't pass the state inspection without a license plate. Which
So
makes
I don't
sense.
know how you get a license plate. What do I come here to the town hall, or do I go to motor vehicle?
I
You can't even
understand.
go to like motor vehicle. Can you just walk in anymore? Or is it all appointments?
I'd see what Becky or Mike have to say, if anything, on that. And I now know that you just can't go to Tamworth like you used to.
That's what I'm saying. You have to
You have
have
to
an
make an
appointment or
appointment,
something.
Yeah.
So, see when you're done here, if you can just pop upstairs and see if they're available to give you a quick answer if they can.
Okay.
$250 for a computer diagnosis. And then there's the charges. Fixing the air brake chambers was $123.47. The light bulb was $1.93. The mini light bulb was $1.69. Shrink, red shrink butt connector is $1.
Yeah, I like red shrink butt connector.
To put on the end of the wire and then heat it up so it
Yeah.
grabs around the wire. Any questions on this $935.78?
No, I asked and now I know. Okay.
How do you vote to approve or not this manifest?
Okay,
Aye.
aye.
3-0 on this manifest. Now I'll make a motion to discuss and approve the water manifest for $5,533.88.
Yep.
Needs a second.
Second.
Discussion. Let's bring that up. Any questions on this?
Pump house, the $1,222.79. What did this entail? It just says pump houses with a bunch of numbers before it.
Are you looking at the invoice from Prescott?
No, he's looking at the Eversource.
Oh, that's the Eversource. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. I got
I
it.
thought you might ask questions, because I had questions about how do we track, there was an invoice from EJ Prescott.
Yeah.
We see a bunch of things bought that, but how do we know what that was used for?
Do we have the invoice for that, Prescott?
Yep.
We must. So.
We do.
I propose the questions, I don't really get answers.
We may need a
So
system.
these are things that Simply Water ordered?
Yep. And they send the invoice to us directly, because of the way it's addressed. Oh, no, they don't. They have our name on it, but they send it to Simply Water's post office box in
Correct.
Glen, New Hampshire.
Yep.
So we may have to talk to Ian about this, if we can have a system where we know where this was used, because we need to know whether this should be charged to the Aspen Bergdorf project.
Yeah, I
Or
propose the question.
Are these
and
going
then-
into inventory in the,
Mm-hmm.
or were these used for something that we don't know about, haven't seen the invoice for a pump house? I was wondering whether we needed Ian to even come in this month, but this may be a reason to.
Yeah, I propose that he comes in next week, I haven't yet received an answer.
So let's leave that he is coming in next week. We'll
Mhm.
put it on the agenda under water to ask him about the system for us.
Yeah, I think a standard operating procedure going forward is,
Should be associated with the work order at least, right?
right, in other words, when they order stuff, they should contact us right away, which line item goes to which project, if it is a big capital improvement project, or if it's for inventory, so we can do our accounting correctly.
Yep. This was for $1,104.87.
Yeah, and if.
We like to track these things.
Right. And I'd say he could report on it when he meets us once a month, but however, there's probably bills all the time, periodically throughout the month. It seems to me his office should be getting back to us as to what this is.
Agreed.
But you're not getting answers from them, is what that?
No, I do not.
Okay, so that's something we have to press hard on Ian to make happen. It's not that hard. There's 3 items here. It'd be very easy to just tell us what it's for.
Yeah, but the girl at the office doesn't know either.
Right, I was gonna say.
So
Right.
she's gotta reach out to so-and-so, and if they don't
Right.
get back to her, you know, it's just a constant
Correct.
battle. So,
All right, then maybe we hold Ian's feet to the fire when he meets us once a month. What it is for? Tell us what it's for.
How do you vote?
Aye.
Aye.
3-0 on this manifest. Now we're at 9:16, we move to DPW report. Morning, Jeff.
Howdy. So, yeah, so just moving along, getting things moving. Storm last week, about 10 inches or so, and got that all cleaned up. Couple little ones in between here and there, and got those cleaned up, and just doing what we do. So we're going through some material. I know you said we got sand, and yep, we got 4 loads of sand from High Street, and I'd like to get another load of salt. We went through some salt, so I think I should order another triaxle load of salt, get that in there this week. And again, I like putting my salt in before the sand, so I'm okay on sand, but I mean, I'm sure after this storm we're gonna have tomorrow, I probably wanna get some sand towards the end of the week too.
so did you wanna address the pictures that you sent about, it appears that some people are coming in?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I did send some pictures, so people, you know, fence up there or not, they're
Yeah.
still going in and filling their buckets of sand and salt.
yeah,
I don't know if you guys saw those pictures, but you could see the little indentation of the bottom of their 5-gallon buckets. And
Yeah.
you could see where they shovel in there into the piles. So no matter what we do, signs, fences,
they're still getting in there.
doesn't matter. I don't know if that brings us back to installing an overhead door again or not. You know what I mean? I don't know. Or have a free-for-all and let them take what they want. I don't know. But that is still something that's going on. So, but I do need some more material.
Yeah.
And I'll need to kind of get that moving forward. Blendon, there's a guy doing clearing a lot over on Blendon, and
Yeah.
a tree went across the wires, I guess, and so I don't, as I was pulling out to come to the meeting, I did see a Fidium truck going in. The only wires that are down, I don't know if power wires came down or not yesterday, and they took care of that. But there's still some phone or Fidium, fiber optic stuff that it's hanging a little low. So we've got the road blocked off still, but I mean, I'd like that road open tomorrow, and a Fidium truck was coming in. I could pull the cones and the tape and get by it myself, knowing that I can get by on the one side, but the wires are low on the downhill side of the road. It's over by Andrew Harteveld's house
Yeah,
there. So,
yeah.
so the wires are kind of going to his house that are low. You stay to the uphill side of the road, you can get under it, so I can plow through it if I take the car, but if a oil truck or a propane truck, or a box truck comes down there and stays on that side of the road, they're gonna take the wires down. So I don't know if this Fidium truck that was coming in this morning was headed in that direction to deal with it.
But they're definitely like cable wires from Fidium or something?
Yes.
They're not electrical?
No, the electrical, if they had come down, I didn't see, they're back up. So it's just the fiber optic wires that are down at this point. And like I said, so it's still taped off and blocked off in that area. So there's that. And then, some steel. Again, if I don't know how much steel costs, I can call them up and ask, try to put a list together of what I would need to build a couple of those wing towers to store the wings in the shop, like, in between storms, that like we talked about. I don't know if that's something you guys want to see what's in the budget for, and I can put forth like an order together or something like that, see what I'd need, what would get a better price on what it would cost, and then present it next week or something.
Yeah, if you could find out what the cost of what you're thinking of doing is gonna
Right.
be, that'd be very
Okay,
helpful.
all right.
Maybe we'll do a spot budget check this afternoon at the office too.
Yep.
Sure.
You have any fears building about any budget item?
Huh?
Do you have any fears building about the budget at all?
No, but I supplied you guys with the,
Yes.
yeah, so,
We
It looks
discussed
good.
yeah.
It does, it looks good.
yeah.
So that's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're just, we're gonna try to, like I said, I got some chains on the way to complete the graders, tires, and the backhoe. And we're just gonna kinda, I'm hoping to see them tomorrow, I'm not sure. But then we're just gonna get that outfitted, the grader outfitted and ready to go. Big truck's ready to go, and the little trucks are all set right now, and so we're ready to fight some snow, put snow in its place.
What's the latest on when the snowstorm should be moving in?
I think tomorrow morning into tomorrow afternoon and into tomorrow night.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a lot, but it looks like it's gonna kind of be a long,
Well, if
day.
it rains,
Kinda
if
one of
it
those
turns to freezing rain,
long,
that's
long
not good
lingering
either.
effect.
Not here, it won't.
Oh, I hope not.
It'll peak at 4 in the afternoon. I look at these charts that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it starts ramping out at 10:30 or 11, it starts to come down. And then at 4, it's at its height, and then tapers off after 4. And it's
Yeah.
gonna be, one forecast is 2 to 4, another one's 3 to 5.
right. So, yeah, but, yeah, that's all I have.
Okay.
Grissom,
Chris,
yeah, there's
Yes.
been a couple of inquiries on.
Oh, yeah,
There was
so
an
that
email,
Yes.
yes, I read that from
yeah.
homeowner.
Does he get to see that email?
Who?
Jeff?
Yeah, he was on, he
Yes.
was
Okay.
forwarded the email.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't have that.
yeah, so I believe that's the second person,
Okay.
that's inquiring.
I was
as to
thinking
the-
it's the only house on the other side, the closed.
On the
culvert.
Aspen side.
Yeah, coming downhill from Aspen.
Right.
32 Grissom.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So I gotta get that, we got that cleaned up.
oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's all cleaned
Yeah,
up.
because, yeah, they're just concerned with, you know.
Yeah,
getting-
that's one of,
Getting fuel,
yeah.
yeah,
No, we'll, I'll be on that,
okay.
getting that cleaned up.
I have a hard time backing out of there in the summertime.
I know,
Yeah.
it gets slick in there, I've gone right into the barriers.
Jeez.
Coming down there,
Tough
but
situation.
I don't sand or, put some material down on my way down. Sometimes getting up can be a little tricky. But no, that's all set, and
Okay.
I'll be on that.
All right.
Thank you.
Any questions for Jeff?
No?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Stay out of the cold.
Yeah, right.
So you're gonna walk upstairs and see what,
Yes, I'll go talk with Mike.
so now at 9:23, we'll start the commissioners' reports. And I'll start with my list. I copied the office and you guys on sending a copy of a design for a mirror hanger,
Yes.
parking ID
Yep.
that gets numbered. And we need to talk to the chief at some point before budgeting about a plan, and we need to have a plan. And I'm gonna throw out just for you to consider before without getting into a discussion today of, I'm gonna propose that we have 3 beaches that we limit the parking to people with these tags. And that would be Little Shores Beach, or Boulder Beach they call it, Eidelweiss Beach on Eidelweiss Drive, and Thusis Beach. So 3 out of the 5 beaches, we would restrict parking lot access to residents and guests only with these tags.
So why not Geneva?
Because they're not on the Eidelweiss Drive, they're different because they're not on Eidelweiss Drive, they're not visible to most of the traffic that comes in and out of Eidelweiss. Over the years,
Oh.
I've seen that they're different because they're not on Eidelweiss Drive.
Okay,
And the idea is that we start with these 3 and see how it goes, and if we need to add those beaches, we can, after, if this program gets passed at the annual meeting.
Okay, because I have heard a lot of people complain about, how Geneva gets, especially Geneva Place Road, gets congested with, you can't even drive through it because there's cars parking on both sides.
Yeah, but there's no parking on the roads anymore.
Correct.
I know that.
So we're gonna get into a little bit of a discussion now. I also have been looking at Geneva Beach just about every day with Jake, and I think we can add some more parking. I know there was a complaint a couple of years ago about the road being so blocked that emergency service vehicles couldn't get to somebody that needed attention on the beach. But this is just, this tag doesn't address parking in the road. It addresses whether you can park in the parking lot.
Right.
Exactly.
So, I'd like to see what happens with Geneva with no restrictions on the parking. Would people not block the road because they can park in the parking lot there?
Okay.
I'd also want to throw out this idea that it seems to me over time there were people that had particular affections to a particular beach. And I'm gonna throw out a buzz phrase and say beach clubs. People who identify with a certain beach, and there's certain people that identify with each of the beaches. And they have a particular interest. They would tend to want to communicate to us about the beaches, things that are going on at those beaches. So I thought maybe we would talk to the EPOA about formalizing that and identifying people that are the part of the beach club of Eidelweiss Beach, the beach club of Thusis Beach, and talk to them about terracing the beaches, perching the beaches, and when it is to add sand and the state of the rafts. I'm noticing things like the raft on Geneva Beach needs to be painted again, and it has screws loosening up that people can step on.
Yeah.
Little details like that those beach clubs could bring our attention to it. We could be the clearinghouse for beach information, but it comes from them instead of, and talk to them about how the beaches get raked or maintained and boats and all that. So I'm just throwing that out for ideas for you to
Okay.
crunch on, and we'll talk about that when we have it on the agenda to decide what we want to do as a board. So, two things, those ideas, a meeting in the future with the chief after we've had set aside formal time on the agenda for us to discuss what we want to do, what we agree on as a board. So I'll move on from beaches and the parking tags to All States Material Group. Last week I mentioned that I asked Bruce Davis, who's the rep for All States Material Group that does chip sealing and crack sealing, chip sealing in particular. They did Eidelweiss Drive in 2012, almost 14 years ago now, and it needed to be crack sealed. Anything above a 1/4 inch crack had to be sealed before they chip sealed it. They did all of Eidelweiss Drive, the pavement on Eidelweiss Drive, and they did Appenville Playground Hill to Aspen, to the end of the asphalt. We're at the intersection with Aspen. So I got a voicemail from Bruce that he went up and looked at Blendon. Blendon was the road we wanted to look at. We have a quote from another company just to crack seal Blendon for $18,000. In his voicemail, I'll play it at the office when we adjourn. He says that he wouldn't feel good about taking our money to do Blendon. He looked at Blendon last Monday, and we didn't meet Tuesday, we met Thursday. He got back to me on Friday, on voicemail. He says that he thinks it needs to be rebuilt, shredded up and paved. But when he looked at the length of Blendon on the maps, he saw that it was only a half-mile long, and he asked me if there were other roads he could look at so that he could give us a good price on doing more than just Blendon. So I asked Jeff, and Jeff said that he thought that Clausen could be crack sealed, because the pavement's kind of new, but it's cracked because they didn't properly do the underbase first. He wants to talk to us because he says Clausen could be done, and he said because he drove up Oak Ridge Road, he wants to talk to us about Oak Ridge Road. And I'm assuming the part that we didn't rebuild a few years ago for $300,000, but the part that goes all the way up the hill from number 19 Oak Ridge Road, I'm assuming. But now we're away from our original intent, which was just to have him look at Linden. Linden is now off the screen for him. It is recommended that we don't do business with him on that road. Now he's talking about other roads that we weren't even considering.
We could certainly see what he's thinking as far as Oak Ridge. If he's talking about the very top where we had somebody who took it upon themselves to take the pavement away at the very top.
He's talking about chip sealing and
Or
crack
is he
sealing.
talking, okay.
So it's only existing
So it's
pavement.
only the existing.
Okay.
So it would be from where the pavement starts at the top of the S-turn that he could be talking about,
Okay.
all the way down to where the new pavement begins at number 19.
Yep.
So that's a long stretch of
It is.
Oak Ridge Road from, and I think the part at the top, I haven't looked at it to think that that could be chip seal and crack steel and extended. So I'll play the message. I think he's saying this discussion with him could wait till early spring. But we need, if we're gonna do anything, we need numbers
For a warrant.
in January
Mhm.
to put into a posting in the beginning of February. Which means it's gonna be within the next 3 weeks that we talk to him.
With regard to Oak Ridge, should we consider maybe deferring anything on that until and if this Vertex tower goes up? Because they're gonna be using that road pretty heavily to do what they're gonna do. And we know that there's going to be a bond that's gonna protect our road should they damage them. So why would we put in good money now, which could get damaged later and have, maybe just do it once instead of twice?
Yeah. And like I say, we weren't in the market to get a quote on that at all.
Right.
So, but that's an easy thing to decide for that reason, is that we weren't looking to invest in that road right now anyway.
Yeah.
I think we'd tell them we'd like to, but it's pending the outcome of the Vertex tower. But it doesn't, the whole focus then go back to Blinden, okay, chip sealing and crack sealing's out. At some point, we're gonna have to rebuild and repave the road.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to get out there. I think that we need to look at that road, physically be on the road, looking at the road with the DPW when the road isn't under ice and snow and wet.
Right.
So I think that we don't put anything on the warrant for it. If it's in the budget that we could possibly do crack sealing of that road to extend it. We see if the DPW agrees with us. We do want to fix a problem that was created by a water hookup, that the excavation through the pavement wasn't restored properly and causes a problem for their plows. So we know we're gonna fix that. But I say we don't put anything on the warrant for crack sealing or chip sealing right now,
Was
this
the
year.
water installation damage also in Blinden?
The water hookup that was done for a house excavated the road and took a square of pavement out. And when they finished the hookup, the restoration of the pavement wasn't done properly.
Right, I get that. What was that on Blinden though?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
I'm just,
yes. Pretty much near where he's saying the wires are down now.
oh,
Like
okay.
exactly where that is.
Yeah, right in that area.
Problem area for a
It's
lot
the
of
Blinden Triangle.
electrical Electricity can kill you and water can damage a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna jump down my list and talk about the tower now that you brought it up.
Okay.
So I went to the hearing of the planning board, and they didn't take any public comments in the hearing portion of it. They started their meeting and they had regular public comments, just in general. I was the only one here that wasn't the attorney for the tower company. It was
Oh.
me and the tower company guy, attorney. So I didn't get to ask any questions, and they approved a number of conditions, like 13 or more conditions, and we should get a copy of that, because some of the conditions are for Eidelweiss that are in there. But the main reason I went to the extended portion of the hearing was the zoning board of adjustment gave them a variance against the ordinances of Madison that said that their power lines had to be buried.
Mm.
That's in their telecommunication tower ordinance, evidently. And they let the commercial company go on that because it's believed that there's ledge up there. We don't argue that there's ledge up there. But it's interesting that towers want to be on the top of hills. And the top of hills around here usually are the top because they're granite.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so, what is the purpose of having in the ordinance that you have to bury the power lines when
You know,
almost every time they're gonna ask for a variance? And they gave them the variance simply for the sake of saving this commercial company money. So that didn't make sense to me. My primary thing is, the result is that they're gonna put utility poles. So they're gonna put utility poles in our 40-foot paved road. And the plan says that the tower company is gonna build a 12-foot wide driveway. So they're gonna build a 12-foot wide driveway in the middle of our wooded, undeveloped road, and they're gonna put telephone poles in. Our road is 40 feet wide, where we would typically build a travel service of 22 feet wide. We have very high-value property that the village owns that abuts it
Mhm.
on the south side of the road. So, I think that the village needs to protect that 22-foot wide possible travel service in our 40-foot wide
Mm.
roadway, which has the drainage off the sides. We can't afford to let them put telephone poles down a 12-foot driveway.
Right.
Next to, if we ever wanted to use that as a road to gain access to whatever we want to do with this expensive property that's to the, abuts it to the south side, we may want to use a 22-foot wide road to get into this and
Mhm.
extend it into our property. So that's an issue of the drainage that we should require that gets built. They should build a road.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the way the drainage transitions from our 22-foot wide travel service, 40-foot wide road, the drainage has to go into their 12-foot wide driveway plan,
Yeah.
or just dump downhill. And I don't think anybody in their right mind would design a system that just dumped down into where they're building a facility that didn't anticipate the drainage coming this way.
Right.
So I don't know if everybody's marching forward thinking that we agreed to let them put a 12-foot driveway in, because
I
they're
haven't
telling
seen it.
us that we have to give them the driveway permit.
Also, didn't the RSA that our legal counsel gave to us and highlighted in yellow strictly said we have control over whether they can build or not?
And because I put that in an email to the planning board the morning of that meeting,
Right.
I heard the administrator say that that's now in as part of the contingency. It's, that RSA is stated in there. So what I'm getting at, the reason I'm going through all this in detail is, I think we need to send a communication to the planning board, the ZBA, and the tower company, that we're expecting this to be a
Right.
22-foot
Proper road.
wide
Yeah.
road to our specification, and they
Yes.
should have a design that handles a 22-foot wide road that they're gonna build at their cost, transitioning into their 12-foot driveway,
Right.
if they decide they wanna keep it a 12-foot driveway. Now, I went further than that and tried to imagine a tractor-trailer truck that's bringing in pieces of a monopole, 101-foot tower, coming down a 12-foot driveway that drops 33 feet down off the top of Oak Hill.
Yeah.
So they're gonna back this thing down, I imagine. So they're gonna be turning around.
Thankfully, that's not our issue.
Well, I'm anticipating what happens to us if they don't do this right.
Well, that's where we need to have
Bonds?
the bonds, and we need to have the road specifications set up through, like you said, the planning board, the ZBA, and the tower company, to create the actual road, and then the driveway that they're going to create comes off that road. It doesn't come straight off the side of the top of Oak Ridge. They create the 20-foot, 22-foot drive road, and then the driveway comes off it.
So I guess it boils down to, we were told that they have the right to develop this paper road, but I think we have the right to say that, okay, but that paper road that's gonna become a real road has to be a real road.
Right.
Correct.
Not a driveway.
Correct.
And we should have something that says that we decide where any utility pole goes anywhere in the village.
Yeah,
Because
We don't have that right with through Eversource.
no.
The agreements, I think everywhere, is that Eversource puts the poles on the edge of the roads. So we can't, so Eversource wouldn't put,
But they don't.
you know,
We've had them move them after they've installed them.
we have.
Didn't we just do that?
Yes,
They
yes,
do?
yep.
Yeah, because
That's
it
what I'm
was
getting
too
at.
close.
Is they
Well,
need
Yeah, but
to-
it wasn't
That
at the
was
edge of the road, it was
That's
in the
problem.
road.
Here,
Pretty much.
if we didn't jump in here, if we paid no attention to this now, we could wake up someday and see poles down this driveway to this tower in places that we don't want. They're in the road surface,
Right.
where the road surface should be.
Right, well, that's where it has to be a road,
Right,
and
established
the
first.
utilities will have to be at the edge of the road.
Yes.
So, do you want to, I think we need to get a communication out to everybody that we're concerned about this. And we'll take a stab at drafting this afternoon also.
Okay,
So we have a tower memo, we have, what else did we talk about?
auditors, FEMA, and a budget review.
FEMA?
I didn't know about budget review. Yeah, FEMA, about the money. Good.
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah.
reimbursement money
Yeah.
to the GRA. Okay. Enough on the tower. So, we have issues with people plowing driveways during snowstorms and pushing their snow across the roads.
Mm-hmm.
It was particularly bad near the entrance to Wood's driveway by his neighbor across the road that has their own pickup truck. They don't have a contractor do it as far as I can see.
Yeah, no, he
They
does
have a
himself.
pickup truck in the driveway, and they push everything out of the driveway across the road, and they left the snow deep on the road. They didn't push it into the snowbank and pack it in, which is another problem, because that gets compacted and freezes, and when they come by with the wind plow during a storm, the wind plow doesn't react the same way and can actually throw their truck into a little bit of a spin. We have to start paying attention to, we have to communicate with the people that are doing this habitually. We have to
Yes.
start identifying, have the DPW tell us where they see people doing this.
Yep.
And
Yep, and get some letters out to them.
yes, with pictures. And the last thing I had was, on my list are email to the DRA about reimbursement of funds.
Okay.
So that's mine. So what do you have, what up?
Not much other than, last week got away from me, but Jennifer, I'll get to you later than next week, the forms you need to send to DS regarding that we fulfilled our obligations to get the mailing out for both lead line and uranium.
Yep.
So, the total cost of us having water that has unacceptable levels of uranium, even though we have not sent a drop of it into the system since November 26th of last year, 2024, we continue to have to pay to have that water tested.
Mm-hmm.
And how often do we have to send mailings out?
Quarterly.
Well, no. Every time it has exceeded the 30 UL, whatever, we have to send out a mailing.
That's
So,
the initial mailing.
The only reason they made us do it this time, even though the last test did not exceed it, is because that's what they consider the full 12-month period. So we have to, and the average was above, the 4-quarter average was above the upper limit.
Right.
So that's why we had to do another mailing. But last time, in the spring, you'll recall, we were below the limit. We didn't have
passed
to do
the
a
test.
mailing
Right.
then. But the two before that, we did.
Yeah,
So it's kind of,
We're gonna have to do the lead line every year. That's gonna be an annual requirement.
but I'm just getting at the fact that they know that we're not sending any water out into the system. We have to pay for the testing, which isn't
Right.
cheap. But then if the test actually goes a hair above the acceptable limits of uranium, we have to spend over $700 to do a mailing to people that know that we're not using that water.
A uranium mailing alone would probably only be 500. But
Yeah,
Remember, we
approximately.
were doing more sheets, but nonetheless, you're right. But that's
Yeah.
why we're getting a uranium filtration system in.
Well, that's
The testing will always take place, no matter what.
yes.
That's gonna be an ongoing expense, but hopefully these mailings will go away once the uranium filtration system is up and running.
So this
Hopefully.
afternoon, we'll also send an email pinging Nick as to where we are with the uranium solution, because we can't afford these mailings anymore. Let's fix the problem. Thanks. What do you have, Nancy?
Okay. Yeah, we still got a few minutes, so, I have 3 warrant articles from 2025 that I would like to see the board, encumber. The first is warrant article number 2, the $50,000 loan for DPW work.
So you're
And
making a motion to
so I'm gonna
encumber
make a
the
motion
$50,000.
to encumber warrant article 2 of 2025, the $50,000 loan.
And when you say DPW work, what does that mean?
That's what it was for.
It was for road work.
It was for road
Road
work.
It was for the
Yeah.
FEMA-
Yeah.
in
When you
case we
just say
needed money.
DPW work, I
Yeah.
don't know what
Ah,
that means.
sorry. Road work.
Yeah,
You want to second that one?
Yeah, second.
okay,
What
wait a
a second
second,
is that?
yeah,
How do you vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Encumbered,
excellent.
3-0.
Okay. The next one I have is warrant article 6 in the amount of $15,000
Mm-hmm,
for engineering for the Grisson culvert.
I'll second that.
How do you vote to encumber?
Aye.
Aye.
3-0, encumbered.
Okay, and the last one I have is warrant article 11, so make a motion to encumber warrant article 11 in the amount of $25,000 for engineering of DPW well B.
I'll second that.
How do you vote?
Aye,
Aye.
3-0 on that.
and those are the 3 I came up with when I went through everything.
Very good. Should we vote to do something to be on the record of clearly intending not to use, to have the reimbursement money from FEMA available to spend next year, even though we don't have the answer yet? Or should we wait?
I think we can wait.
I just don't want to forget about that.
No.
If somebody says later we needed to vote on that to make it clear that that's what we were doing. But we won't forget.
I
Well-
won't forget.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or if we wanna do it now, just to make sure.
Let's see what the DRA says.
Okay. And the other thing I had was, I know any of the boats that were picked up at the beaches,
Oh,
have been put into, you know,
Storage.
they've been put into storage.
Yeah.
Do we know how many?
They're under snow now.
I know,
There's at least 4,
at least 4?
could be 5.
Okay. And were you given the information as to what rack they came out of?
No.
So that,
Yes,
oh, okay, so that
Yes,
there is
I
a
do.
chance that we might be able to contact owners?
Don't they have to contact us? They-
Well,
they can-
they're gonna have to pay $100 to get their boat back,
In the next spring, they get auctioned off if they don't,
if we haven't heard from them. So do we just wanna just let it go that way?
yeah, they,
Yeah, let them contact us.
Let them contact us?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's,
we don't wanna.
It's important to them.
I mean, at
expenses.
this point, they're buried under snow. That means the DPW would have to take the time to dig them out, make arrangements for them to come and get them.
Plus
well,
they-
that's gonna happen anyway, if somebody calls
I'd rather
tomorrow.
wait till spring.
I know, but if somebody calls tomorrow and says,
the
I want my
negligent
boat
They're not
back.
gonna
actually
be using
incur
their
an
boat in the
additional
winter.
expense of her time to contact them.
Right.
Right.
because-
I agree,
because they're
I
being
agree.
Right.
ignorant.
just let them wait till spring, and if they don't come collect them and pay their $100,
I
they get
mean,
auctioned
you know,
off.
they
Right.
don't care about them to begin with.
Yeah.
All set, Nancy?
Yep,
So now at 9:51, we have 9
Wow.
minutes before we start the,
Shush.
do we have further things to talk about the water system? We don't have any scheduled appearances. We can,
I don't know, do you wanna quickly review the list of what we wanna do at the office? So we
This
don't forget?
afternoon?
Yes,
Yes.
okay.
Refresh my memory.
So I think the first one was to contact the DRA, right?
yep,
About
for
feedback.
two
Reimbursement.
different,
Two different
reimbursements
Issues.
and the auditor.
yep,
reimbursements and auditor.
yep. And then Mark mentioned taking a quick look at the budget review.
Yep.
Then there's an
Okay,
tower for the, email for the tower.
Yep.
And Nick and uranium.
Yep.
there was
Nick
something
and a couple
else.
of projects, uranium and, I wanna
The
get a
well?
plan to the Burnham Company on the Como PRV,
Right,
and hear if FEMA contacted him regarding the Grissom culvert. Cause he did tell New Hampshire Emergency Management that
Yeah,
there'd be 0 environmental impact design changes if we change the type of culvert that we use.
which is very good, because it might make it easier for for DES to continue the permit than make us resubmit.
The only catch is they changed their regulations after that permit, so that gives them a reason / excuse not to let us just go ahead and change the color in the current design, but we'll see. Anything else you wanna have
no,
us talk about?
I think that's it. Yeah, no. At least I hope that's it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, she's like,
I always think of it
that's
later.
already enough.
Well, it's like have you leave and I go, hey, wait.
We have nothing on the old business table items. No signature items.
Nope.
The correspondence we already talked about with Jeff on the Grissom Road
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
access to the house that's on the wrong side of the culvert.
Yeah.
No public appearances, no non-agenda items. So should we take a 6-minute break and then start the hearing?
Sure.
Does that work for you? Okay, so let's take a break and start again at 10 o'clock and let the crowds come in for the hearing.
Yeah.
Do you need to make a motion, or you just need to?
To make a motion to recess? 5
Second.
minutes?
Aye.
Aye.
All fair? 3-0 on recess.
Okay. Yeah,
So it's 10 o'clock and we have scheduled a public hearing for a change to the driveway ordinances. We have a usual huge crowd. And
I'm not that big.
I don't know if you've met any of the commissioners before. This is Nancy Cole.
Hi, Nancy.
This
Hello.
is Woody McNiven.
Hello?
Who?
Mike Woody McNiven.
Wooden?
Woody.
What-
Woulda, like woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Woulda, coulda.
There
Okay.
you go.
My name is Mark Raffam. And you have a copy of the driveway ordinance?
I do.
Do you want to lead us through the hearing? Want me to do it?
looks like there's somebody else coming in now too.
Okay.
Okay. Hi.
Good morning.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Grab.
Paul, you wanna sign in, grab a
Nope.
copy?
Why do I have to sign in?
So that we know who's here.
Oh, all
You're
right.
being filmed anyway, so,
That's
and we
all
know
right.
where you live.
You probably do.
Without you knowing, we're gonna take your
Well, you know I
fingerprints
do.
off that
He
one.
knows that. He knows where I live. I'm the guy who spent $6,000 on his driveway.
Good for you.
Yeah, that makes me better than everybody.
Okay.
That's why I'm here. I'm
Why
just
did you have to
concerned.
spend $6,000?
Because he has two paid driveways.
Oh,
Yep.
gotcha.
And I was told to take one away, even though it was accepted.
Oh,
So I
really?
had to hire a lawyer.
How long ago was
We
this?
gotta do this public hearing.
I know,
Right.
I'm sorry.
So you're gonna go through the changes.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we have a bunch of changes that we've put together, for changes to the driveway ordinance. Anything that is suggested for changing is highlighted, or bolded, and italicized.
Yes.
Anything that we're looking to remove, or any wording that we're looking to remove is crossed off, so that you can tell what it said prior and what we're looking to change it to now. So the first change is actually in section 3, so no changes to the authority, and where that comes from. Same with the definition for driveway, and then we get into the purpose. So in 3.2, we are changing the word highways to all affected VDOE roads. We just thought it was clearer that this applies only to VDOE driveways. The next thing we have is in section 3.5, we are removing that line, which simply says monitor heavy traffic on district roads, because we don't do that and we don't really have a way to do that. So we're looking to remove that. In section 4.1, we have added that the VDOE Class 6 road waiver agreement must be submitted and filed prior to submission of a driveway application. And it's, again, that would only apply to somebody who's looking to build on a Class 6 road. But it makes it clearer that they have to do the agreement for building on a Class 6 road before they'll get a driveway permit. You can see the wording that was taken out, that has actually become section 4.2. So that will say that a permit is also required before undertaking any driveway alterations that in any way, size, affect the size, grade, or service, including pavement,
For drainage.
yep, for drainage, and, within the limits of the VDOE Class 5 and Class 6 roads. So again, it's just the wording from the original 4.1 that we moved into its own line. 4.3, we're adding that it was already in there, but we are clarifying that it's 2 driveway permits, 1 for construction, 1 for operations. And again, it was in there, it was just sort of buried in there. So we setting it up with the bullet points, you have to have 2. No other changes in section 4. And we get into section 5, which is the application. We have removed the line, or suggesting to remove the line for getting a driveway permit from the selectman's office, saying that it needs to come from the district office or the VDOE website. Because Madison has their own, and they don't have ours, so that's why we're doing that. No other changes in that section. Section 5.3.
Section 5.2.
5.2. It's that number thing, you know? Yeah. All driveways must be clearly marked with a 1-foot square sign with the street address, number, and the house sign.
Excuse me, is any of this open for discussion?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can ask questions?
Yep.
Oh, certainly.
Okay. So this 5.2. So does that mean everybody's gonna now have to post a sign?
No.
Okay, these are new driveways.
These are new driveways.
Okay, right.
So picture the 3 of us are out there, we have an application that has a street address on Burn. We come down and there's 5 lots that have no development on them. And we're looking for where this driveway is.
Okay,
And we've been out there struggling to find where somebody put these wooden stakes in the woods. And we're not certain that that's the actual lot. So
Okay.
this is saying, you're telling us that this is the lot that we should be inspecting to give you the first permit.
thank you.
We move into section 6. So 6.1 has some new wording. So for new driveways, including the addition of a second driveway to an existing property, or for rerouting an existing driveway, a permit fee of $200 should be submitted with the application. And again, the wording was already in there. We're just clarifying and setting some of this stuff up into its own sections. In 6.2, the change there is that including paving for any change within 20 feet of the road. So that's for an alteration. If somebody's paving or looking to change their driveway, especially with paving, if it's within 20 feet of the road, that's where we're most concerned, because that's where the driveway and the road meet. So further back into the property is your property and do as you will. But within that first 20 feet, that's where the district has its most concern and our most ability to make sure that it's done correctly. Section 6.3. So for new dwellings, paving an existing driveway, or addition of a second driveway, a performance bond for the $4,000 is gonna be needed. That is slightly different. We've always required a performance bond with, for the $4,000 for a new driveway, but we're adding that a performance bond is also gonna be required for paving an existing driveway or adding a second driveway. Somehow those weren't required to have the driveway bond. And we're going, why not? So we're adding the requirement of the driveway bond for those two specific situations.
Why?
We've seen that a driveway that met the spec, when they come and do paving, they'll actually not just pave it, they'll change the driveway away from the spec.
Okay.
They'll cause a problem for the road, which is the main reason that we inspect driveways, is we're trying to protect particularly the gravel roads from being damaged from the runoff that comes off these driveways. So we have many cases of that, is that the driveway was fine. They paved it. In the process of paving it, they made the driveway a little sweeter for themselves, but caused a problem for the road in doing it. So we
Good
need
reason. Very good reason.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. And usually it's the negative grade that
Disappears.
that disappears when they get paved.
So that would require, if I was doing it, and just before I'm ready to pave, you guys inspect it, or somebody inspects it, and gives you a go-ahead or denial.
Well, we would give you'd need a permit would do the permit for construction,
Right.
and as long as, and then we come and look again after it's paved
Yes.
for the permit for
Permit
operation.
construction would
Here's the
require
thing, Paul, is
design.
the driveway exists,
Right,
right? We go look at it, it meets the spec.
right.
Then the company shows up and does the change. When do we get to see the change? After they did it. Can't watch them do it.
No, but wouldn't you, while it's being prepared, and it's its final stage prior to paving, the final grade, wouldn't that be the time to inspect it?
If you had a full-time inspector that had a schedule that could match the contractor, because now you're telling the contractor, do the base work, stop, have an inspection done. That's done in Boston, but it's not done here because you having us board have to come out to the site while the contractor's waiting. Just not possible.
But then if, on the.
They don't even tell us when they're starting to do the job. They don't tell the owner when they're gonna do the job.
So have you addressed that in this? Nobody's had the chance to read all of this and digest it, right?
This is the first public hearing on that.
Okay,
That's-
so what I'm trying to say is, in general, I'm sure that there's a lot of good things in here that you guys have done to make things better. But somebody like myself who walks in here, it's like, I can't read this, digest this, and listen to her at the same time. So, I don't think anybody can. So, after today's meeting, will there be any more meetings on this?
Until we do another change to it. This thing, if you look at the history, which is at the back of this thing, of how many times this has changed through it seemed like every 24 months,
Well,
the current board changed this because it's so difficult to put into text what has to happen with this. It's a complicated subject because of the terrain that we live in. So what it really comes down to, it's the contractors. And it's the reputation that the village has in doing the inspections on these things, and them knowing what this thing says. like you say, the property owner has to absorb everything in this, and we tried to simplify the language, is what you're hearing Nancy say we're changing to make it clearer to a layman. But it really comes down to which contractors already know the way it should be done right, and which ones don't care.
Right, well, I'm just trying to, what I'm thinking about is, okay, if I have it all paved and I think it's all within the guidelines, now it gets inspected and you say, whoop, like happened to me, tear it up.
Yep.
I'm trying to eliminate that for a homeowner, okay? Is this, all of this here, did you run this under the nose of your lawyer?
Of course.
Okay, okay.
I'll give you an example.
And I'm not, I'm not trying to upset the apple cart here.
We had a paving company come in and look at roads that we need work done on for the village. And in the conversation, driving around in his truck to look at the roads we want to have him give us an estimate on, he tells me about a driveway on a road that a private property owner is going to have changed. And he's telling me, I happen to know the road when he was telling me, know the house I mean. He says the way the driveway was put in, they put this dip in the driveway and they paved it, and we're going to fix it for him because they actually paved over a place where the road caved in. Brand new pavement caved in, and a hole like this showed up right at the entrance to the driveway. To fix it, they need to, they gave him a quote to cut back 25 feet into the driveway and redo the whole thing.
Yeah.
He says, we're gonna take this dip out of it. It's the negative grade that this specifies. The contract, he's gonna charge them for making the driveway non-conforming.
Yeah.
And the owner evidently doesn't know the contractor did it right. They screwed up with this hole that got created. They wouldn't call the property owner back to come and fix it. So now the property owner calls this other contractor who's gonna come in and take this dip out of it. I said to him, that's in the spec, we require a negative grade. He says, oh, you conform to the state DOT specs for driveways. And I said, yes. He said, okay.
Standard.
So here's a contractor that knows the DOT spec, doesn't know that we require it, even though they've done driveways in here before, is gonna make a conforming driveway non-conforming and charge the customer to do it.
Well, don't you think that this is gonna make contractors reluctant to work in here? As far as driveways go.
We've always used DOT specs.
I'm not saying
It's
that.
always been in there.
But
It's
I'm
just,
talking about this inspection, I won't say.
well, we've always done the inspections. You've always needed a permit for paving.
Right.
You've always needed the permit, and then we do an operations permit after.
But you're
So
saying
that's
you wanna
always,
do it after it's completed, okay? Which, it's, as far as homeowners go, they're gonna have a very hard time with this if it's wrong. So you're throwing,
it's really always been in there, Paul.
then why are you?
Why wouldn't the property owner say to the contractor, I'm contracting you to build a driveway, it has to be done according to this?
Right.
And we come out afterwards to see if that's what they did. We can't head them off at the pass. Not possible. This is part of a bigger problem that the village has to address, which is the overall drainage system.
I agree to that.
The roads, we live between 3 mountains. There's actually five elevations over 1,000 feet that have water coming down from every angle into the village. It comes down through the woods, it comes down onto the houses, the rain comes down off the roofs, down the
I don't
driveways.
disagree with all of
We're
that.
trying to fix the whole landscape. It's gonna take a long
Without
time.
being able to look at all of this,
Mm-hmm.
why not consider, and it might be in here already, I don't know, a grate in every driveway?
I think we have suggested that as a fix to those driveways that were paved and made them non-conforming.
Okay.
That ideally, yeah,
I think that was the
you should
first
rip
one.
it up back 20 feet and do it again, but I think a grate was a fix, but there's a problem with it.
It's on the next page.
Like I said, my house was the first house that I know of.
Yes.
That had to have the grate put in,
Wow.
which works fine.
Yeah.
As long as you get.
And you're not the only house. There's been multiple houses that the
Since
grades.
mine.
Oh, Situars, at least 2.
No, you're right, but I
Yeah.
think I was the initial one.
Actually, somebody put one in on their own design before you did,
Okay.
Yeah,
which is why we watched that and learned that that's the
Oh.
solution.
and when
If
it
it's
works.
maintained.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We now see the grates are loaded and there's grass growing out of it, there's so much buildup and composting that happened in the drain that it's been nullified by lack of maintenance. Another problem, we haven't fixed that yet.
Thank you.
But the idea of requiring everybody to pave and put grates in, if they have a positive grade from the house to the road, that's something that's considered, but we haven't pulled that trigger yet. That might happen someday.
Mhm.
You have to pave the driveway.
I'm all for saving the roads, that, it's a ton of money.
Costs a fortune to fix the roads because of the
It's a ton
driveways.
of money, I
Yes.
realize
Uh-huh.
that.
We can't even quantify it. How much it costs every
Okay,
year to
it's
fix the roads
ridiculous.
because of driveways.
Yeah,
Sorry.
It's okay.
thank you.
All right, so we're up to section 7. The beginning is has no changes. You get down to section 7.4. And this is the standards for all driveways and accesses. This is where we restate
Yeah.
that driveways must meet the road at a negative grade. Some new wording that comes out of one of the pictures that has always been attached, but nobody ever could read or look at, is that there has to be side ditches for all driveways. And again, we do reference back to the exhibit and the picture, but we have the wording and we're adding that directly into the ordinance so that it doesn't get missed when somebody's reading through this large document and seeing a couple pictures at the end. You're not gonna pick in on, specific wording in one of those pictures. So we're pointing out some of the specifics, and this is one of them that we're adding.
Should we look at exhibit 3?
Sure.
It's on page 9.
It's kind of small, yeah.
On page 9 is exhibit 3. In the upper right corner, there's a diagram labeled A-A section, cross-section, driveway cross-section. And what it's showing you is the cross-section of the driveway where the paved surface is in the middle and it's labeled drive with an arrow pointing at it. And the 2 A's are pointing at where ditches need to be on either side of the driveway as it heads down to the road. And this is a DOT drawing that we used. Here's where the homeowner looks at this and doesn't get it. But the contractor knows this.
Right.
Back to the story.
Okay, so the next change falls into section, or bullet 11, where we're adding, headers are being required for all culverts. Headers are to be made from stones to protect the culvert inflow and outflow. A tabletop stone over the culvert, which actually protects the culvert, so that if somebody goes off the edge or slips, they don't go into the culvert. So the stone is there to protect the culvert. So that is also required, and that all headstones are to be below the profile of the driveway so that you don't hit them when you drive in,
So the plows don't knock them
and the
off.
plows don't knock them off.
Yeah.
And this is where we added in this area, number 13, a grate might be required on any driveway that places water onto the road.
In case of me, they installed the culvert for me a couple of years ago.
Uh-huh.
I assume they put it in right? DPW.
I would guess
For what
that.
They did the work, came out nice. No
Why
stones above, it's nice and flat.
Mhm.
I just wanna make sure those other stones are there correctly.
The
You can
headers.
tell by looking, right?
They might not have done headers when they
That's
did
the
a
one
bunch of
thing I wonder about,
driveways.
Yeah,
And what road are you on?
Gretchen.
Gotcha, okay. They may or may not have done, header stones at that location. And this is a new requirement that we have the header stones. So anything that was done prior is sort of grandfathered. And
So you're
then
talking
if there's
like that
something
big
new.
block of cement is a head of stone.
It could
You
be
can see
good.
them going up Oak Ridge, there's a few,
Yes,
okay, it's a,
yes.
Trying to get away from the prefab concrete type that were used on Oak Ridge Road at the bottom. There's like 3 or 4 of them on
Right.
the hill. The plows hit them because they're all preformed and they may not fit exactly into that terrain. When they do stonework, they can fit it exactly. One of the things that when it's not done properly, the culvert's like this, and they'll put a rock directly on top of it with all of the weight of the rock on the culvert. And we see the culverts actually get damaged by the weight of the rock. So when we're talking about a tabletop, there's a rock on each side of the culvert that supports the weight of the rock on top as a table. So that, and that's below grade, so that when the plow comes, it doesn't knock the stone out of place like we've seen it done by people that aren't following what we're writing here now. So we're informing people this is how it should look, is that don't put the rock to crush the culvert itself and get it installed where your plows and our plows aren't gonna catch it and push it off into the ditch, which causes a drainage problem.
Destroys culverts too, pretty bad,
By having the weight on the rock on it.
yeah.
sure, that's quite understandable. Why would the DPW be doing work on your property?
So I asked them to.
It's in the road.
I needed some better drainage on
Was it the town's DPW or Eidelweiss?
Eidelweiss.
And there's multiple places where, when we're putting in drainage along a road, that if a culvert was not needed at the end of the driveway, there were, and it's been different ways that it's been done historically. There were times that the homeowner paid for the culvert and the DPW did the work. There were times that, the
village bought the
DPW,
culvert.
the village bought the culvert and did the work. So it has gone back and forth a couple of times over the course of the history of Eidelweiss as to when that happens. But when we're ditching and putting in drainage, better drainage on any road, if there's a driveway that was approved without a culvert, that's when we get into the situation where the DPW will be actually putting in the culvert.
It used to flood in front of my house, beyond the crown of the middle of the Gretchen Drive. It was like a pond. And even my lot on the east side of that was a little lower than the road, so it would fill up with water. So I got DPW to drop me a bunch of fill there. I brought all that up. We put in the culvert. There's still not much of a grade though from there to it. In other words, it's almost flat, almost even uphill. So well, it doesn't go uphill as we know. So it's just barely moves from one side to the other, but it is functioning what we wanted.
Good.
It reduces a lot of water problems I used to have in the basement that were constant for the whole life of the house. I fixed all of that by just getting water to move to the gutter and then to that drop basin.
Right.
The drop basin's just on the other side of the culvert. So it had to get water there, they had to do all of that. And I just paid for the culvert.
Yep, and as Mark said, drainage across the entire district is something that is moving very high on the list of, we have to work on this. Because there's just too many places around the district that we don't have proper drainage, you know? Undersized culverts on roads, and we know all the issues.
Well, that's what we wanna do, is notice what's going on and then improve it.
Right,
Well, you just don't wanna keep spending money on things you don't have to.
That's right.
correct,
Get it fixed.
correct.
And it's also important to keep in mind that a lot of the drainage issues we're experiencing today are due to the vast amount of development that's been done over the past several years. Before, there used to be a lot more open lots that could absorb the water. Now they're being developed, so, you know, we're kind of falling behind the
You
eight
just have
ball
to
here.
watch it and then know what to do next,
Yeah.
Correct,
So,
basically.
yeah. Alright. So, we're into section 8, which is maintenance, which starts with what the district does, as far as cleaning the culverts out, including driveway culverts. And the only thing in this section that we made a change to is in section 4, or 8.4. Let's see, and this is legalese, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay, so we had, the lawyer suggested we change some of the legalese.
Who's the lawyer
So,
now? I know it used to be Bolt. Who is the lawyer now that represents?
Laura Spectra,
Mitchell,
Mitchell Municipal Group.
She was fired by the district, not the district, excuse me.
Planning board.
Planning board.
She ran away during the STR issue.
Oh. So in this section, what we're changing is anything that may cause to be taken, whatever action is necessary, so this is gonna protect the district, that we may take whatever action is necessary to protect the road and for the traveling public, and the owner or other responsible party can be held civilly liable to the state or to the municipality, which in this case would be Eidelweiss.
Yep.
So we get into section 9, 9.1. There was a line in there that is being crossed off that simply said that you had to start within 90 days of getting the permit,
Construction permit.
the construction permit. And many people might take longer than that, or they are getting ready to start, or some people have already started before we even get a driveway permit
Yeah.
application. So we're just taking that out. The 1 year that it stays in place for is still there. We haven't changed that. But what we did add was that after that first year, a new application, including resubmission of the fees, proof of the bond, and the septic permit from DES are gonna be required. So no more extending or renewing permits, because mostly, a good portion of that is for the bond. That if somebody has a bond that's only in place for a year or 2 years, then the bond is gonna be expired. So we need to make, and that's the district's protection for any damage that might happen to the road. So we're gonna do that, and the same with the DES. We found many times that somebody might say, oh, I wanted to extend, or can I renew? But their bond's not in place, their DES permit for the septic has expired, you know, and these things are required in order to put a driveway in. So we're just saying there's not gonna be any more renewals or extensions. After the 1 year period, if the driveway's not done, you're gonna need to reapply.
So the takeaway is that if you're gonna put a driveway in, be ready to,
Be
have
ready
your
to
ducks
put a
ready to go
driveway
when you take out an application for a construction permit.
And the majority of people get them done within the
They
year.
do,
Yes.
but,
There
But then there's always that handful that,
well,
you know,
we still
3
have
years later,
applications that are
three
still-
years
yeah.
later, we're still working on some applications. You know?
I see it out there.
Yeah.
They get started and they'll come back for a
Yeah.
while.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yep. So, there was a statement in here that was section 10 for revoking a permit, that is being removed. So there won't be a hearing, in front of the Board of Commissioners to revoke, a permit. All of the district's rights are outlined in other sections of this driveway ordinance. So that if somebody does something that is not in compliance with the driveway, with the ordinance, then the district has the rights to, go after the property owner if needed. And I think that's the end of the changes.
Other than the Board of Commissioner, all those signatures will be ours when we approve this finally. This is just the last version,
Yeah,
and those guys are doing their thing.
well, that's, and the way it has to stay.
Change the date on the bottom.
Yep,
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we'll be updating that today is the date of the public hearing, and, oh, yeah, that says December 2nd. So we'll
Yeah.
fix that, and then it'll be at least 10 days before we sign this into, or the commissioners sign it and make it the new driveway ordinance. Section, in the back, Exhibit 2, we have a much better picture than what was in the driveway ordinance prior, so that you can actually read the numbers,
And the tables.
and the tables,
Yeah.
and it shows you,
The measurements match
Where-
our ordinance.
yep, where it should be for the, driveway, how far from a corner, and the lot lines and that type of stuff is all listed out in here. We already looked at Exhibit 3, which again is a much clearer picture than the one that was in the driveway ordinance prior. And hopefully people can actually read and review it. We added the road waiver agreement for building on a Class 6 road to the end of the driveway ordinance, so that is now Exhibit 4. And then the application is Exhibit 5. Or, no, actually, the application is the last thing on the thing, but it's Exhibit 1. So the application is still there.
yep.
There were copies of the permit construction and permit for operations that were at the end of the driveway ordinance. We're gonna be removing those because those are the commissioner's business,
That's what we fill out.
yeah,
We-
that we fill out.
Applicants don't touch that.
Right, so we just are gonna remove those and keep them within house.
Yep. Very good, Nancy.
So how'd we do?
Excellent.
Too early to tell.
I it's something, it's something.
Okay, I know you have the best interest of the district in mind, without a doubt, and that's wonderful. But for me to just say, okay, I have to read this, I have to digest it, the same thing you would do.
I've been working on these changes for months.
We've been doing this for months.
We first talked about it over a year ago, so, yeah.
So,
Basically, I'm happy that you're trying to do everything from the grading and the destroying of the roads by the water,
yes,
okay? That's essential because you're throwing bad money after it when you repair it.
right, and one of the big things that we showed, that we realized very early on, was as we were looking at the driveway ordinance and looking at what we were seeing at people's lots, for driveway applications and things, and ones that hadn't been finished off from years ago, that there were so many questions that people could come up with, and there was a lot of things that we weren't even sure exactly what it was trying to say,
Yeah.
in the ordinance. And it was like, okay, and that brought about the, all right, well, let's start working on the ordinance itself. It gives us a starting point for moving forward, and any future driveways that come in, or any older ones that are gonna need to reapply, we can now make sure that they're gonna be done properly.
And also, just a big change is, in the past, when inspections were done of driveways that were gonna go in, as far as I know, at least as long as I've been involved, the Board of Commissioners didn't go out and do the inspections. It was left up to a DPW employee, which you had to trust that he or she knew what needed to be done.
Well, actually, the DPW employee that was doing the permitting told the board on video that he was not looking to follow the ordinance. He was only looking for what he was concerned about from the road manager's perspective. And they accepted that comment, which was pretty bizarre, I thought.
Yeah,
Which is
well-
why we have a lot of the problem driveways.
We have a legacy of problems, but the point is, virtually every driveway inspection since this board has been assembled, all three of us have gone and done the inspection beforehand and afterwards, so that we're consistent.
Well, I've seen it with Mike Smith in particular. I have seen him and the construction guy up at my house, ready to kill each other. Okay, and I had to step in, that was one of the things. I've also seen where it was up to the DPW foreman to accept everything. And when the foreman changes, for instance, it specified, and I'm making this number up, the culvert had to be 13 inches, so I put a 13-inch culvert in. My construction guy left. The new guy came, the new foreman for the DPW, and said, I'm making numbers up again, an 18-inch culvert. I said, it's all signed off right here for a 13. And he said, that's no good. And I asked him, I said, what did you do for work? I was in recovery. Yeah, I was a tow truck driver, okay? I've seen things like this happen over the years, okay? And I told him, I said, because I followed what is all signed off. And the guy who signed it off went to work at the dump, and he went to classes and was certified to install, for culverts, okay? And I said, I told him my dilemma. And he said, oh no, I was certified, I'm number 586 certified. The other guy's a tow truck driver. So I told the tow truck driver, if you want to dig that all up and do all of that, you can do it at your dime, not my dime. So, I mean, I've run into things, you know, over the years that you really, really shake your head.
Yeah, well,
You don't have to tell
we're
them.
trying to get away from some of that.
We really are. We're trying to be consistent across the board going forward.
Well, until I had to put the culvert in, no water was going to the drop basin.
Jeez.
And that was a fairly new drop basin, it wasn't there when I moved, you know, bought the place.
Mhm.
But when they put that in, I just said, well, when are they gonna get water to go to it? So that's what I got involved with. Was it Jay Buckley actually was down there. I was showing it to him and intended to agree, so he started doing some work for me, and that's how it all got done, it's hugely improved. So, and it keeps the road
Mhm.
Well,
dry.
that's the main thing, is,
We were going through 2
That's the
feet of
purpose of
water
the
on
whole
one
thing.
side of that
Yeah,
flood. And then it got down and none. It's not draining fat, but it's draining.
wow.
So that's all I care about.
Yeah.
Just keep it moving. That's where just some input, what you have to do. When you observe something,
mhm,
tell somebody about
Yeah.
anything else, or?
it. The only other question I might have, I don't know if you can help me with that, but I could use some more of that fill.
You can get a, request, Phil.
I do it after New Year's, right, to cover the year, because I think it ends at New Year's.
How much do you need, roughly?
I think they dropped 4 trucks there. I wouldn't mind another 4.
We're doing a lot of hauling. Right now, we have a site we've brought 100 truckloads,
Fill in it.
filling it. We're doing this, we're using, FEMA is giving us money to fix the drainage system.
This is all about drainage. You
And-
know what I'm doing.
Yep.
Next year, we might have 2 contractors and our DPW all doing drainage work in 3 different locations at the same time. We have a deadline with FEMA to finish the work by August 31st. So we have quite a bit of money from them to do the work. And it's a matter of managing it and getting as much done as we can by October 31st. So we will have lots of
Phil.
high-quality ditch material coming out that, for us to not have to truck it to Albany, which is where the site is.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought my benefit to you was.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Drop it here, don't drive all over town.
As long as it's easy to put it without causing a problem.
Yeah.
They backed in 3,
Yeah, if they've already done it where you are, then
Right.
I think
there's
I
probably
actually
no
had
problem.
5 of them dropped there. No, it must have been 4. 1 in the front, 3 in the
So, you filled in a form before, I don't know if you can use the same form or you need a new form.
No, it expired.
Yeah.
It-
It's been
Okay.
a couple of years since I
Yeah.
did that, and oddly enough, with a shovel and a wheelbarrow, I spread it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
because a lot of
2 years
people
ago,
will,
3 years
yeah.
now.
So,
But I can still do it, that's why it's on it.
so we'll probably be into the June time period before the fill starts coming out of the roads.
That's
when
what I
everything's
thought.
dried up.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah,
and
that's what I thought,
frosted.
I'd come, make out an application at the office.
Excellent.
Yeah, just come in,
Yep.
an
You'll
application.
know where it is, you'll know me.
Yep.
They all know me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even the DPW guys.
Yeah.
I was talking to them.
Any other
I'm all
comments?
set.
Should we close the hearing? Make a motion that we close the hearing at 10:49.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
Thank you.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you
Thanks.
very much, very informative.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn the meeting to the office and resume
Recess.
at.
Recess.
Yep.
Recess and resume at 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
3-0 on that.
Okay.
Thanks, AJ.